Hey folks, and welcome to this week's edition of Double K's Fresh Take. My fresh take this week is on UFC 200. It was a great event overall. I actually managed to watch the entire card from the early prelims to the prelims to the main card. The early prelims and prelims were very well put together, very well matched. All of the fighters had great fights. To me, the best fight of the early prelims was a TJ Dillashaw fight, won by Dillashaw by unanimous decision, I believe. But yeah, it was a great fight nonetheless. The overall card had a lot of people on it that you would want to see. Everybody from Cain Velasquez to Jose Aldo, to Brock Lesnar, to Miesha Tate, to Daniel Cormier. All of these people were on the card. I thought it would have been a night where we would have saw multiple belts defended, but the only belt that was really defended was the women's bantamweight belt in the main event. But let's go over the card starting at the beginning. The first match of the night was Cain Velasquez and Travis Brown. A fight that, well, only lasted a couple of minutes. It was a great fight when it did, for as long as it did last, but Cain got in a couple of good shots. TKO punches for Cain Velasquez. Great win. Velasquez is a monster beast. If Lesnar does come back after UFC 200, I would love to see him face Cain Velasquez. I think that would make a much better fight than the fight that they gave him. Next up was Frankie Edgar versus Jose Aldo for the interim featherweight belt. This was a 5-round fight. It was won in unanimous decision, and actually I gave I gave four rounds out of 5 to Aldo. He just dominated most of the fight. Edgar had a decent showing. He lasted 5 rounds. He didn't get knocked out or tapped out, but yeah, he lost the fight. The winner by unanimous decision was Jose Aldo, who is now the interim featherweight champ until he faces Conor McGregor again. If you remember correctly, Aldo is the one that McGregor knocked out in 13 seconds. So he'll face McGregor to unify and create an undisputed featherweight champion at a later date. The next matchup was the Anderson Silva versus Daniel Cormier fight. Silva was overmatched from the get-go. I got to give the guy credit taking the fight on 3 days' notice. Most fighters wouldn't do that. Most fighters would want at least 3 weeks to a month's notice to prepare for the fighter. But yeah, at the end of the day, Silva took it, and unfortunately, he put up a good 3 rounds, but all 3 rounds were won by Cormier, and once again, it was a unanimous decision. But Silva didn't get knocked out. He didn't tap, so that's always a good thing. Next up was the co-main event, Lesnar and Mark Hunt. It was a great fight, 3 rounds. I would say 2 out of 3 won by Lesnar. The reason why I say 2 out of 3 clearly were won by Lesnar is because 2 out of the 3 rounds were clearly dominated. He dropped Hunt early in the round and pretty much spent a lot of the round on top of him, punching him and hitting him, and Hunt trying to get out. The third round, that was the first and the third round. The second round was kind of 50-50. Hunt had a couple of good moments. Lesnar had a couple of good moments. But overall, it was a strong showing for Lesnar, someone who hasn't been in the octagon since 2011. Improves his record to 6-3. Beats the number 8 contender right now for the heavyweight crown in UFC. This was kind of how Brock Lesnar worked his way up to winning the heavyweight championship the last time that he won it. Is that he did things, he got in that ring and he dominated. So Lesnar did his UFC thing. He'll be back for SummerSlam with against Randy Orton in August, but we'll see if he's back in the octagon again, either before the year's out or next year. We'll see. The main event was Miesha Tate taking on Amanda Nunes for the women's bantamweight title. Nunes came out strong. She came out quick, and in round 1, managed to get Miesha Tate down and submit her with a rear naked choke. It was another amazing fight. This women's bantamweight division is getting really interesting from the fact that you've had, 3 different women hold the bantamweight title in the past 3 fights. It's changed hands 3 different times. So when it comes down to it, that division is thick. And we're going to see what happens as time moves forward. Like, who's the next person to get a shot at Nunes? Will it be Rousey? Will it be Holmes? Will it be Tate for her rematch? We'll see. But that was the main event. It was a great card overall. I gave it an A overall ranking. I definitely think it's one that people should watch. Go back and watch if you got UFC Fight Pass or anything like that, because it was a great card. I'm Double K. This has been my take, and I'll check y'all out. Peace.